Hi everyone, this is Francisco, and I am recording this video to say that us perfecting us, I'm sorry, us not perfecting the World Wide Web, the internet, is a curse. It's a fucking curse. And it's like we're all getting afflicted by that, or because of the result of that. And any of you remember stories like in movies where like drill sergeants will go up to the soldiers that were standing at attention, and they would say things like, "You think something is funny?" Or they will even say like, "Get that smirk out of your face, off your face," or whatever. Just things like that. It's the same thing with education, school. We didn't take school seriously. A lot of us didn't. So that's why we have the problems that we face today. And it seems like we're not worried about any problem unless it's a priority type of problem to solve. When there is so much more problems out there in the world. A lot of people out there are struggling for no reason. It seems like. Well, anyway, I think it's part of the devil's work, right? I mean, well, honestly, remember what Jesus Christ said? He came to destroy the works of the devil. So I don't think that things, objects, are actually going to get destroyed, but I do believe that they will get perfected because Jesus Christ, God, is perfect. So if there's problems, then obviously they haven't been made perfected yet. So with the World Wide Web, the internet, we're able to communicate at a more effective rate. And I believe that through that, we will make things more simpler for ourselves. And the curse will be lifted because of that and the result of that. Like, we have to think back like in, school when people would just write stuff down. And it was probably cross-examined without our knowledge. Just like I'm talking about like the forums with like specific inventions. Well, just like Home Depot and Lowe's, right? There's reviews for every single product. Every single item at Home Depot and Lowe's is an invention or a compilation of inventions into one unit, one machine, or whatever it might be. So when people write reviews, they can actually be cross-examined to evaluate, what people are really frustrated about the product, or any feedback that people might write that might cause them to, come out with a much better, design or product itself entirely, you know. Um, like, for instance, I remember the pressure washer, the handle, the gun. They actually came up with a pressure washer gun that has a adjustment nozzle to give or provide the user with different degrees of how the water gets sprayed out. There's 0, 45, 35, 45, like 70 something, and something like that, right? And that basically, it replaced those little individual connectors, which were probably, a lot of the times, probably lost or misplaced. I mean, you could just imagine. So when they came up with this nozzle adjuster, it just changed the game. It made people's lives easier, I'm thinking. So that's the type of shit that I'm talking about. And then obviously, we're dealing with the World Wide Web, the internet. So a lot of this stuff, like the diagrams, the sketches for the inventions, most of this stuff is mathematics. Math. Because everything is built with precision. And everything is built through, software, internet, 3D engravers, and a bunch of other things, mold injections. I mean, we can just see the big picture, when I talk about all this stuff. So, it's just pretty much like Elon Musk and, with SpaceX, with the rockets and the vehicles. I mean, these people are creating safer machines, more effective machinery. They're not fucking around. They're not just talking shit. These are hard-working people working around the clock. Because it was a curse. It was a curse. Like, remember those beginning rockets? How they blew up? And there was actual people in there, astronauts, I was going to say sophisticated, but I think it's just the word educated. But anyway, I don't even know what sophisticated even means, but that word just came in my mind. But, so these were very educated people about to go to the space station or some base out in the moon somewhere. I mean, God only knows. And it just blows up. And that's a curse, especially to the people who take the time to manufacture these things, build these things. That's a huge setback, a huge disappointment. And it affects a lot of people. So, in a way, yes, it could be considered as a curse. And that's the type of stuff that I'm talking about. Like, we have to try to make everything better. We have to continue as a people to write reviews and be honest. It doesn't matter how stupid or what's the word, mischievous it might sound. I think that's the word. It doesn't matter. Just do your part to write your own review. That's the only thing we can do right now. And then we all know that the internet has been perfected a long time ago with AI and a bunch of other software, but these people are using it to their advantages to fuck people over at the moment, unfortunately. So even that needs to be perfected. Because trust me, they're doing some scandalous ass shit. And that's exactly why I thought about everyone in the world having one digital profile, one profile to access the internet, all our data, everything synchronized into that one profile. So people won't get fucked over. And believe me, just if you want to dive into that, we're talking about a whole new fucking video. And I'm not even trying to get into that right now. I'm just saying that it is the reason why we all feel like we're cursed. And not just that, because I mean, we all know it's not about money. Fuck the money. I mean, people can have fun without money. I understand that. I just stay here in my room all day. Like if I was a fucking death row inmate locked up. But I know there's people out there having fun. There's people out there accidentally killing themselves. Accidents are happening everywhere. Just look it up online. The statistics. Look it up. Anything you want to know. How many people die every single day from cigarettes? How many people die every single day from accidents climbing up a ladder? And etc., etc., etc. Car accidents. Getting electrocuted to death. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. And you could Google it. You can ask the internet, and it will provide you with some results. So I know that I'm not the one that is tripping, because the Bible does state that we don't fight against flesh and blood, but against spiritual forces of wickedness, of darkness, and stuff like that. So I don't know where all you Christians are at, especially the people that understand the terminology and the slang of the Holy Bible or the stories, or even understand the scriptures, or can reference a bunch of scriptures. I really don't know why we all have to go to church and listen to the same goddamn message every fucking week. Everywhere. All throughout this fucking bitch ass world. You guys are not doing shit for no one. Believe me. If anything, you guys are just encouraging people, and at the end of the day they feel good about themselves, they feel better, encouraged. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's great. But we're just fucking with each other's feelings. And our feelings as humans, they fluctuate. One day they could be sky high, one day we can be fucking down to the ground, super down. You know, it's like someone popping a downer. You know, and honestly, we just have to fucking stay focused here. And, you know, we have to understand that, you know, we have the internet to help us all. Because, like, how is anyone going to feed the world? That's how a lot of people, like, think about it. Like, a lot of people, a lot of preachers, evangelists, they would talk about stuff like that. But let's get real here. Let's say you're just one person. How are you going to reach a different state other than the state that you're in? And even if you're in one country, how are you going to impact a different country? You just won't be able to. It's impossible. And believe me, all the money that you guys are giving, people are stealing that money. Believe me, they are. Believe me. They're doing some scandalous ass shit, believe me. You know, like, people are all over those freebie handouts, especially when there's a natural disaster and people, you know, these ministries give hundreds and thousands of dollars for food and supplies. Other people hear about that and they go and they take advantage of that. But if we went about it through the internet, that's the key thing, then everyone would receive their fair share. That's the best I can put it. Without it going into the wrong hands, or going into the hands that weren't impacted at all. So see how we can free the world through the internet? That's worldwide exposure. That's a whole worldwide impact. So we need to quit supporting all these preachers. We need to support who? The businesses that are in it to fix the World Wide Web, to provide, like Skynet, like Elon Musk. He sent a bunch of drones out to space. And I believe that in the near future, all of us will have free internet, like nothing. Free Wi-Fi, whatever you want, unlimited data, like nothing. Because we all deserve it, not just a few. And because knowledge is more powerful than money. Okay? And people matter. So I don't see why anyone would want to or not want to do that. Support a cause like that. Looking at it from a much bigger picture than something that you have no control over here on earth. Like, yeah, you can throw a lot of money at someone to feed themselves or whatever, but I mean, if people are really hungry, they could eat fucking bread. If they're really hungry, they're starving. You motherfuckers out there are buying all kinds of bullshit, supporting each other. Grocery manufactured products. You guys are just supporting, the products that are within the stores. And that money's going right back to the rich people. You guys are talking about feeding the world? Fucking feed it fucking bread. Bread and fucking water. Or supply the world with clean water. So that, because trust me, clean water is a luxury. It's a fucking, yeah, luxury. It's better than anything that we can ever like make ourselves. Plus it's refreshing. It does a lot to the human body. And we can do that all with electricity. Distilled water, filtered water, whatever. The more purified it is, the better it is for us. So if we can provide that to one another in this world, and what else do we fucking want? I know what people want is their privacy, their own space. That's why there's a lot of homes, a lot of laws to protect their people's privacy. But that's a given already. It's there. A lot of people have that. So I'm not saying anything against that at all. Like, you people just need to get with the program And you need to quit allowing yourself to become so gullible. Because believe me, someone is going to eventually feed those people. Or they're going to feed themselves, even if they have to ask for $1. $1 fucking. They could go into any grocery store and buy a loaf of bread. That'll keep them alive for a few days. 2 days at least. Straight the fuck up. Straight the fuck up, it will. I mean, if it comes down to people starving, life or death situations, then yeah, bread and water. Fuck it. It's better than dying from hunger. So, what you preachers out there need to do is support, like Elon Musk with Skynet, Starlink, you know, and you guys need to make that a priority, because we just never know how it's going to impact the world in the future. And believe me, it's going to be something good. Just like cell phones. A lot of Christians believe that they were of like the devil. People thought that cell phones were and television were from the devil, and it was a distraction to more important things, or whatever the case might be. So if you guys are not on that caliber, like, get the fuck out of my fucking life. Don't say shit about me. Don't fucking talk about me amongst your friends. Just do whatever the fuck you want to do. If you don't want to partake, then get the fuck out of my life. Get the fuck out of my business. Don't even watch my videos. Don't even laugh at my jokes. Just keep on pushing. And do whatever the fuck you want to do. But for those of you who are down with the shit that I'm talking about, then support Elon Musk. Because, that's like the new military advancements. Okay? It's like, have you guys ever watched Band of Brothers? Or like any war movie? Doesn't matter what country. They always advance. They take new ground. And we're not doing that anymore. Those days are over. Now it's a bunch of little cases here and there. But us going out into space and then them talking about colonizing Mars and shit. Now that is, groundbreaking fucking current news, and like that's all new shit. It's like people back in the day when they were traveling in wagons and horseback and ships. They didn't even have airplanes. And it was like going into the unknown. It was such a, like a journey. It was such a adventure. And that's exactly what we're doing now with, going out into space. And then far beyond that. We're breaking new ground. And that's what you people need to be investing your money on, your time on. Like Jesus Christ said, don't think about things of the earth, but heavenly things. A lot of you motherfuckers out there are just wasting your fucking goddamn lives. Trust me. I just sit here and I think about it. Everyone's out there getting played like hoes. And it's not even hard to see anymore. It's so obvious. And it breaks my heart because I love hoes. And it breaks my heart because I don't even have the money to partake in those type of, like activities, those endeavors. Because I want to fuck the shit out of hoes as well. But with what money? So it shouldn't even be about money. It should just be a given. That's why I believe in AI and AI dating. I mean, like they say, if one person fucks it up, that person fucks it up for everyone. So I hope that person is not you. Just give people what the fuck they want. Period. I mean, this is not fucking complicated. This is simple shit. And if people are just talking shit, they're just talking shit. But they don't have any, backing. They don't have any fucking, like, basis. Or a real excuse for their bitching and murmuring. Like, if you're going to complain about some real shit. Because you have a real mission at hand. Just like the electrical vehicles and shit. And, I mean, SpaceX is, like, probably, like, the best example comparatively to vehicles. Like gas vehicles, diesel vehicles. Because the rockets are able to come back down. And that's like jet fuel. That's fucking crazy shit. And how are we going to ever make a jet powered with nothing but electricity? That's going to take a lot more research and development to be able to create something like that. And I seen that in the Halo Infinite, the new Halo. The spacecraft, the aircraft, I believe it can also be a spacecraft, but with the boost, it's kind of like jet fuel. It's like adding more jet fuel to get that boost. It's like NOS. Nitrous something, like Fast and Furious, the movie. They would push a button and it would make them go all fast. Well, anyway, how are we ever going to do that? That's still things that we still need to work on. So there's a lot more to work on than people can ever think or imagine. So don't be negative, people. Be positive. And if people are being negative around you, it's probably best for you not to even hang out with them, because they're not providing you with the energy that you need and require. They're fucking energy suckers. They're like those stars out in the universe who are sucking up the energy from other living stars. Don't allow yourself to be that victim, because they're predators without you even knowing, without your knowledge. So that's why I just stay here in my room all day, mind my own business, because it seems like everyone is just like those stars trying to suck up my energy. And I'm not going to let that happen. At all. Fuck that. So, we're talking about a curse, right? God cursed humankind. Everything was perfect. God sent his son to die for the sins, or for that sin that Adam and Eve did. And that covered all sins thereafter. It just covered them all. And he came so he can make things right, everything perfect once again, to restore the authority that Adam and Eve lost back in the Garden of Eden, according to the Holy Bible. And a lot of us don't even understand the full spectrum of that, the full context of that. There's things in there there's stuff in the Bible that's not even written, that are not even mentioned. So, you know, basically, what we need to do is understand that, God is restoring that which was under the curse. You know, I thought I thought about an invention or an idea to create gas powered bicycles, but that will have a speed restriction right underneath the legal limit. So the bicycle won't have to be registered as a vehicle. Because think about it. 1 gallon of gasoline can go 3 miles. No, wait. 1 gallon, yeah, can at least go like 3 miles in a bicycle. That or like a vehicle. In a vehicle, it goes one gallon is like 20 miles or 15 miles. So imagine that. Just taking your bike to the gas station, fueling up right there, paying $5 for a gallon, and or whatever the gas price is in your location. But right now in California, where I'm at, the gas prices are like $5. I don't even care. That number always fluctuates. It's so annoying, and people are always talking about it. So annoying how people just keep talking about the gas prices. Like, who cares? Anyways, so I was thinking about that because they have electrical bikes. I just bought an electrical bike. Okay, so like they sell them everywhere, but they have the thing is that they have a speed regulator, and they know exactly what the hell they're doing. So I think a lot of you out there can take these electrical bikes out of business, honestly, because electrical vehicles are good, but they're not. The electrical bikes are good, but they're not that efficient, and they're probably not that reliable that I know of, because I never purchased a good high end electrical bike. I did hear that there is some. I seen some on sale for like, or like on the internet for like $300. But how far can it travel? And how long does it take to charge? And a bunch of other things. So if someone can make a bicycle as powered with gasoline, and it can stay under the legal limit, so that bicycle won't have to get registered or require a license, then like a vehicle driver's license, then a lot of people will buy that. Even scooters, like, think about a scooter. Imagine a scooter, and a scooter can hold kind of like a weed whacker. I mean, the gas tank is small, right? But the engine is tiny. It's not that big. So the very bottom of it it could hold easily like 5 gallons of fuel. Or at least 3 gallons, but 5 gallons, like nothing. So imagine that if someone designed something like that. Then technically you'll be able to take that scooter pretty far on the sidewalk and be safe. Like I don't like the street bike lanes. That's very dangerous because I mean you have to drive right next to vehicles, and one vehicle can crush you like a cockroach. So fuck that. That's scary. So you know, it's just food for thought. And the main thing is creating a or providing the either the bicycle or the scooter with a big enough gas tank to ride it for a very long time, or long distances, very long distances. That'll get you around everywhere around your little city. Now, protecting that is something else altogether. But at least a scooter you'll be able to take into the store or into a restaurant and like stash somewhere. But a bicycle, if someone sees that, I mean, people want to steal it. But if it has a tracker, kind of like a cell phone tracker, then that would be better, because if someone does steal it, then um the cops will be able to locate it and repossess it, just like a cell phone. I heard of stories like that, like laptops and stuff like that, where the cops actually go and confiscate stolen cell phones and iPads and stuff like that because it has a tracker on it. So not everyone's on the same level. So that's what makes life exciting as well. For me, it definitely does, because now I'm not in the rich category like everyone else. And I'm not saying that people who ride scooters or bikes are not wealthy. I'm not saying that. What I am saying though is that I am now I'm placed under the category of people that don't have a car and think they're better than other people for whatever fucking reason. You know? So it makes me feel good, and I hope it makes other people feel good too, as well. Um, if you're riding around on a bike, and you're struggling, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. I mean, look at these dumbasses driving vehicles. They're crashing and dying. And I'm not even trying to be mean. It's just reality. It's a fact. Just look it up online. How many car accidents per day? How many car accidents that result in fatalities per day? Just look it up. I'm not angry. I'm not casting judgment upon anyone. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm just being real and I'm stating facts. And since the law doesn't want us to, there's restrictions and safety restrictions for a reason. That's why I came up with this idea. And that's why I feel like I'm cursed. Because I know all this information. Yeah, I can't do anything about it. So that just, it fucks with me inside. I mean, who wouldn't it fucking fuck with? And who doesn't it fuck with? I'm sure I'm not the only person out there who feels this way. Because there's a lot of feelings. There's a lot of moods. Just like Facebook. Facebook allows users to express their feelings. And there's a lot of feeling options with emojis that you can select from. So how are you feeling today? How's your mood today? Well, I hope it's a happy one.